Wrap me in a bolt of lightning, send me on my way still smiling. Maybe that's the way I should go, straight into the mouth of the unknown. I left the spare key on the table, I never really thought I'd be able to say I merely visit on the weekends. I lost my whole life and a dear friend. I've said it so many times.
What challenges have you guys faced trying to figure out different ways to get Devontae the ball this year?
I wouldn't necessarily take them as challenges, more as fun and exciting projects. I think just being able to move him around, I think that his versatility is makes it fun for you, so you can put him in a lot of different spots. It throws people off, whether he's strong side, weak side, slot. And he just has a nice repertoire of routes. So I think that it makes it fun that you can do some different things with him.
Has the amount of attention that he's gotten dictated that you move him around?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. It's more as we just want to show a lot of different things. We don't want to just kind of lock him in at one spot, one thing, because then a lot of the times, anytime you have a guy that you're targeting a lot, they'll be able to, put a couple guys over there. So we just want to always make it kind of a task for the defense to be able to find them.
We enjoy our time with you, obviously.
I'm glad. I really enjoy my time here, too.
Do you annoy the people that love you with how positive you are? You just called finding ways to get Devontae open. What'd you call it? Fun and exciting challenges?
Yeah, projects, yeah.
All kidding aside, we do enjoy your time. But
and I enjoy my time with you, too.
Is that you? Is that kind of you?
Yeah, no doubt. At least I feel that way. It's a privilege to be up here. It's a privilege to be with this organization and do this job and be where we're at. And so I just appreciate that. Growing up in it my whole life, watching my dad have so much fun doing it throughout his career that, it's just, I'm a lucky guy, and I'm proud to do it and have fun doing it with all these guys and all these coaches.
So what is that I was asking Matt about this earlier, the process of you guys kind of growing as an offensive staff. Getting better at making in-game adjustments or getting better at putting together your game plan. Can you kind of give us a glimpse into what that process has been like?
I think in the beginning, especially doing it for a while a different way, you always kind of look at it from how I've looked at it in the past and how it was just solely kind of my vision. And I think that now we're around where we can really utilize a lot of other people's thoughts. And I think that at first it was just a whole bunch of stuff being thrown up on the wall. And I think now we all kind of understand how Matt thinks. We understand how Coach Stenovich thinks, how Coach Outen, Alvis, all the guys, Coach Getzy, all those guys. So you're able to be more efficient and kind of isolate it down to kind of think about how we would all want to attack, and we want to be on that same page. So I think that that's kind of solidified itself a little more as we've gone on. The things that we're looking for, something that we want Matt, we want Aaron, everybody to like. So I think it's been a great growth, and I think that we've really had a good time doing it, and just want to keep getting better.
How do you get the offense to find that consistency? You moved the ball in the second half against the Detroit when you needed to. You moved the ball for most of the Minnesota game. You've had a good quarter against Washington and Chicago. How do you find when these really good teams are going to be coming out?
No doubt. I think that's kind of been. I think that's kind of been the whole season. It's been kind of this up and down. It looks really good, and then all of a sudden there's a couple hiccups or things just don't go exactly how we wanted them to. I think it's about that consistency. It's about that timing. It's about just everybody continually getting more comfortable. And I know that sounds basic, but it's really not. It's one of those things that, when you get those off-schedule plays, there's still a lot of young guys out there. And you've got a veteran in Aaron that has played with a lot of different people, and he's expecting maybe somebody to do this or that, and they might see it a little bit different. So I think it's just the more that they can play together and we can get those opportunities, we can capitalize on those, because that's really what we're missing. There's so many times just watching this past game that you're only a couple inches away from getting another touchdown, maybe even two, and it just changes the whole dynamic of the game. So we just have to keep on working on that timing, the consistency of all the things we want to do.
Is it reasonable to think that could all come together in the playoffs, or?
I would like to. I'd like to think that. Now's the time. Your single elimination and those plays, versus any team in the NFL. I don't care who you're playing. Every team is good, and I think that we've been very efficient in certain aspects of the game, which have allowed us to be able to always be in the game. But I think that when you really see the offense, get really rolling, is when we're going to be able to make those plays and make those explosive plays and capitalize on those ones that we're missing by just a couple inches. And last week there were a lot of them, and we just need to cut those down. We need to get about 50% of those, and it'll look a lot different.
Daniel, Aaron made a comment yesterday. He was saying that there are plays right now that the timing's really good on, and then there's plays that you guys have been really trying to get the timing down all year, and you haven't been able to. Is there enough time between now and a week from Sunday to move a few of those plays from the?
I would like to think so. You're always going to have things that you're going to want to get to, because it always gives the defense another dimension to have to cover or to defend. And I think that obviously in our minds we're thinking, yes, we can. But once again, we don't find out till Sunday. But we're always going to push certain things, and we're going to try to really make the guys, we want them to feel uncomfortable at times because it makes them grow more. And we just got to keep on working on those things. And at the same time, understand what we are efficient in and what we have an ability to be able to move the ball with. So it's kind of that happy medium. You know, it's you still want to work on those things that you're doing great on, but you got to have those wrinkles, because you know in this league, you know there's so many guys that they study all those things that you're efficient on, and they're gonna say, hey, we want to stop those, and we got to do a great job at still having enough wrinkles and getting better at those things.
You've been on both staffs when Alan Lazard's been cut from the initial 53 these last 2 years, and now he's your number 2 and making big catches in the fourth quarter.
That was an awesome catch at the end there.
It was
big time.
Were you surprised both last year and this year he wasn't picked up by another team? And what, I'm not saying this isn't a critique, but like what were you in both situations and the coaching staff or whoever in general missing that maybe allowed him to do what he's doing now?
Yeah, I give all the credit to Alan. Like I've said before, what he's done himself to be able to work and put him into this position has been unbelievable. To have a guy like Aaron Rodgers throwing you the ball when you're covered into the end zone and trusting that you're going to go up and get it, it's just a testament to him, his work ethic, and everything that he's done. There's so many players that you look at that if they're in a certain situation, they might excel, and they go in another situation, they might not. So I think it's kind of been this overall good atmosphere for him to develop and become the player that he's becoming right now. And he's still far away, and he's still got a lot of room to grow. But I think that this just kind of how we've done it, how we do it here, I think it fits Alan really well. That has helped him, because if he goes somewhere else, it might not have worked. So, but the best part about him is that his work ethic, his ability to learn the system, understand the different roles, understand the things that he can do, and at the same time get a trust with Aaron. It's been incredible. It's been something that I don't think any of us in the beginning came in here and said what you would have said about Alan, and Alan believed that. And I think that's what's great about him, is that he's the type of guy that he's going to go do his thing, and he's going to go find a way to make a play.
What did you think of that performance you got out of Lucas when he filled in last Sunday? Obviously, you want all the guys to get healthy for the playoffs, but what about that outing for him?
You go into a game, obviously you're expecting the 5 offensive linemen, and I give so much credit to Lucas, Patrick. Our right tackle goes down. We got a guy that's only been here for a couple weeks, have to go in and play, and also in a very critical situation with that. And I think both those guys really stepped up. The way that defense plays too, they really isolate the center one-on-one a lot. And I think Lucas went in and did a great job. All the guys, having to come in, Billy hanging in there. We were going down thin there. And so I think it's a lot of credit to Coach Stenovich, Coach Butkus, making sure those guys are ready to go in there and execute so we don't skip a beat. And I think it's just, people don't understand how hard that is when you don't get those reps throughout the week and you still have to go in there and execute. It's a testament to all those guys.
So speaking of that, how much does it help you guys, and I don't mean this as a critique of Alex, but to have a guy who started 113 games now as your swing tackle and knowing how much experience, how does that change the dynamic for you guys?
Anytime you can bring people in for competition, to push people and it makes everybody around them better. And I think that's a perfect example of it. And Alex is pushing himself to get better every day too. And it's just one of those things. The more people that you can bring on your team, just in case something does happen, that's what you want. And I think that room has really excelled there.
Who would have been next up if Billy's ankle Would that have been Mercedes?
I like to not think about that, that situation. That would have been a scramble. That's happened to me only one other time. But when we were at Jacksonville, we had to get Mercedes ready for that. But, it's one of those things. In the end, you got to find a way. You got to find a way to get enough guys out there to go play. And whoever we would have thrown out there would have been ready.
These guys finished an NFC Championship game with a defensive tackle at guard.
I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that. Luke Getsy always tells me about that one, and it was that's a pretty crazy deal there. I think it was a D tackle came in and played guard, and that's the thing. As coaches, you got to be ready to do anything that happens. I mean, that's part of the game. With only 46 guys up, you got to have 11 out there.
Aaron keeps talking about role players on this team, and I was asking Mike Peck about this too. Look, you guys rely on your studs to come through for you to be a good team, but whether it's Mercedes or some of the guys you talked about on the offensive line, how important is it to have those glue guys who kind of fill in those spaces and maybe don't get the accolades of an Aaron Jones or?
I mean, that's your team. I mean, that's the foundation. I mean, they're the guys that their names might not be called a lot, but I mean, really in the end, for us as coaches, the locker room, we know that's the spirit, that's the heart of the team. And those are the guys that they're out there. We say it takes 1/11 of every single guy, so they're all out there, they're all executing, and it's just about everybody working together. That's why, it's so much fun to see as an offense, everybody come together, everybody root for each other, because it's not about one guy making a great catch or a great run. It's about everybody executing together. And I think that's when you feel like you have a good team and a powerful team that can move forward. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the field, but if they're unified like that, I mean, that's what it's all about. And I think that glue, like you said, is so important, that there's so many guys that are giving us so much and doing everything they can to help us win.
Two more.
This time of year it's about quarterbacks in the playoffs, and it's probably an oversimplification of things, but look at who's won Super Bowls. It's mostly been guys with really good quarterbacks. We all know what Rodgers is capable of doing. We've also seen games where he's struggled some. Why do you think Aaron's that guy to get you guys to Miami?
Well, he's Aaron Rodgers, first and foremost. I've seen him do some things that I didn't think anybody can do, or I thought I could in my imagination at times. But I think that's the thing. I mean, not only does he have an amazing skill, but as a person, as a leader, how he brings the team together and gets those guys to be able to play at a higher level. I mean, just how he goes out there and how he composes himself. I think everybody knows that they have to get up to where kind of his standard is, and I think that rises the level of everybody. And in this situation, I think that the stakes are so much higher. It's so much more exciting, and there are going to be guys that are going to be so fired up, but you're always going to have Aaron, a guy that's been there, that's done that he's always going to be able to bring people back and lead them each game. And I think that's the key. You need a guy like that can understand that it is just another game, even though it is an important game, that just having that guy as a leader is so important. And I think that not only will it be his arm, but it'll be his voice, his demeanor, everything.
The fact that you've cycled in so many of your players on offense, whether it's the line and skill guys, plus the close games, I would imagine that gives you guys as coaches a sense of comfort as you hit this one and done stretch, that you can kind of put anyone in at any point, ask them to fill that role even though the lights are brighter.
It allows them to be fresh, certain guys, if it's from the standpoint of the skill players, the tight ends. I mean, everybody's starting to get more experience, which gets everybody more trustworthy of each other, and that's what you're looking for. You want that if somebody's got to go in, you're going to feel like he can roll, and I think that's so important, especially in these times, because you're kind of at the end. You can't really train a lot of people. I mean, bringing Swerve out there has been awesome, and watching him play. I mean, there's so many people that are adding to the whole picture, and I think that's so important throughout these playoffs, and what you're always looking for. I mean, once again, it's about competition and the people that are on your team to be able to push each other through all the good and the bad.